This video is edited to shorten watch time by removing sidebars, procedural evidence handling, and long pauses. Witness testimony remains intact, with minor trims to hesitation words and stutters. Audio is enhanced from the broadcasted court feed, but some originally inaudible dialogue may still be unclear.
So I hope you got
I do.
seated, state and spell your name for the record.
All right, I'm Officer Derek Kolb, D-E-R-E-K-K-O-L-B.
Police officer with the City of Milwaukee Police Department.
Yes, I am.
How long have you been an officer?
Since August of 2023.
What district are you assigned to currently?
District 3.
Have you always been assigned to District 3?
Since the start of field training, yes.
What would be the geographical area that encompasses District 3?
It starts from the most northern part of Center Street, goes down to about St. Paul, Canal Street, and then various streets out west to about 106 to about 7th Street.
You work patrol.
Yes, sir.
Can you describe your general daily duties?
Generally, we'll be patrolling around, taking calls for service, doing traffic stops, anything that dispatchers dispatch to on a daily basis. So any sort of calls that we need on the day.
The calls for service come from a dispatch center from the city, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you working on the morning of April 2nd, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Were you alone or did you have a partner?
I was with a partner that day.
What was your shift?
I was assigned to day shift, which is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Shortly after your shift began on April 2nd, 2024, were you and your partner dispatched to 2928 West Lisbon Avenue in the city and county of Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Yes, I was.
What was the nature of the call that you received?
We initially get a call for service from Milwaukee Fire calling us for a request to MPD. Usually that results in us being told that we need to investigate a fire of some sorts.
Did you know what kind of fire this entailed when you were going there?
Yes, initially our CAD notes read that it was a vehicle fire.
Are you familiar with what's at the address of 2928 West Lisbon Avenue?
Yes. When I started there, it was an abandoned building and it continued to be until it was torn down.
Do you remember about when it was torn down?
It was approximately about 6 to 7 months ago, roughly.
Okay, after April 2nd, 2024.
Yes, sir.
Your partner that day was who?
His name is Miles Kowalik.
Mileskowalik for the record. When you were dispatched to that location and arrived in that location, were you and Officer Kowalik already there, or had the fire department already been there?
Milwaukee Fire Department had already been there and extinguished the fire prior to our arrival.
Did you speak to a member of the fire department?
Yes, I did.
Who?
I do not recall his specific name.
Okay. Was he the captain that was on scene?
Captain Hoos was his name.
Hoos?
Yes.
Thank you. That conversation, I presume you just got basic information about what they encountered when they got there?
Yes.
Do you recall what that information was?
Essentially, we run down if the fire was suspicious or not suspicious, what essentially they first got there, what they observed, and essentially we just get a debrief of the situation before we do our investigation regarding the fire.
And what did they observe?
When they got there, they observed a blue Honda Civic engulfed in flames, which prior to our arrival, they put out before we got there.
Was there anything notable about the trunk that they had noticed when they got there?
When they got there, I do not recall, but when I arrived on scene, the trunk was ajar.
Was there any noticeable damage to any part of the vehicle that did not look to be from a fire?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You had a body camera, correct?
Yes, it was equipped and activated during this investigation.
And you also made contact with an individual who had called 911, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
She, at the time, was a resident of a house on North 29th Street, correct?
Yes, sir, just east of the location of where the vehicle was set on fire.
Do you recall what address?
I do not recall.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 190. What is this?
That is a aerial view of District 3, certain parts of streets being Galena to Lisbon Avenue.
Any objection?
No.
It's received and go ahead.
Officer, at the top of the screen, there's an angled street, is that right?
Correct. The angled street that runs west to east is called West Lisbon Avenue.
32nd Street?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is the location where you found, or you went to find this car on this map?
Yes, it is.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're pointing to the building basically at the northeast corner of 30th and Lisbon.
Yes, sir, just east of 30th.
All right, and that building that's in this map, that is no longer there.
No, it is not.
Behind the building at this point.
Yes, sir.
And go down 30th, this street here is Walnut. This is Walnut Street, and then the one south of that is, and then right in between Walnut and Galena is the 31st in the playground. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 51. Should come up on the screen momentarily. What are we looking at?
That was the blue Honda Civic that we got dispatched to for the vehicle fire.
I should have asked a better question. This is a body cam, right?
Yes,
Okay, whose body cam?
that would be my personal body camera.
Where I have this Exhibit 51 queued up, you're looking at the Honda Civic, right? And the street that would be beyond that building is what?
That would be West Lisbon Avenue.
So you're essentially facing south.
Yes, sir.
Is this your body cam from when you were there that day?
Yes, sir.
I'd move Exhibit 51 in and ask to publish about 2.5 minutes of it. No objection.
It's received and go ahead.
Sorry, 3.5. When I start playing this video, there's not going to be audio, correct?
No.
Why is that?
For the first 30 seconds, when we turn on our Axon body cameras, it goes back about approximately 30 seconds to where no audio is recorded during it, just how our Axon equipped cameras are run in our Milwaukee Police Department.
You hit record, but your camera actually picks up 30 seconds prior.
Exactly.
All right, thanks. Paused at 110. That first portion of the video, what were you doing?
Essentially looking over the vehicle, just seeing what kind of fire damage is done to the vehicle. And then initially when I looked at the front pane of glass for the front window, that's initially where I first checked vehicles for their VIN number. And then the second time when I went to the inside of the door panel is where I checked for the the VIN number. The first one was destroyed in the vehicle fire, so I got the VIN number off of the door.
The purpose of getting that information is what?
Typically, and sometimes with the Milwaukee Police Department, some vehicles have license plates that do not match the vehicle that it has on it. So I always double check and write down the VIN number of the vehicle and the license plate as well, just to make sure that they match if I run the license plate or if I run the VIN.
You did that in this instance?
Yes, sir.
And then did you run that information to try to figure out who the vehicle belonged to?
I did.
And who did the vehicle belong to?
We run it through a certification called E-Time, which is a Department of Transportation check. And when I ran the license plate and the VIN of this motor vehicle, it listed to Sade Robinson.
Did the VIN and the license plate match?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Playing at 110. Paused at 152. The last few seconds here, you seem to be checking the engine compartment fare.
Yes.
And on the left side of the screen where my mouse is circling here, would be the front passenger rear view mirror, correct?
Yes.
And the condition of it right now at this point is what?
It's damaged.
Hanging down,
Yes.
playing at 152. Paused at 225. The front hood of the car, there's a cut straight across, correct?
Yes.
The hood is cut open.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something the fire department does?
Yes.
Playing at 225.
Super weird because that engine still looks like it's in pristine condition.
Huh?
It didn't even look like, I mean that in the sense of like a fire didn't even touch the engine or any part of the front of the vehicle.
Paused at 318. At this point in the video, you're looking into the trunk.
Yes.
This item that I'm pointing out with my mouse here looks like what?
A bag of some sorts.
This black item here?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the first time either of you had looked into the trunk, fair?
Initially, I was the only officer between us two that had looked over the vehicle, looked and inspected it, and just made sure that everything was inside the vehicle or if any personal identifiers were in it.
Understood. Playing at 318. Paused it at 332. That last clip of you standing at the driver's side of the vehicle, how would you describe the interior of the vehicle?
Completely destroyed, essentially set on fire, complete fire damage of the interior of the vehicle.
The frame that I have on the screen right now from your body cam, it looks like there's a lot of trash. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know this location? Is that abnormal for behind this building?
Not at all.
Okay. Is this building, as it was abandoned at the time, was it kind of a dumping ground?
It could be used as a dumping ground, yes.
And where your squad is parked here, that's the alley. That's not a street, right?
That is an alleyway.
This street over here to the left, that would be North 30th Street then.
Yes, it would be.
So to get here, you pulled into this alleyway right off of North 30th.
Yes,
The 911 caller, did you make contact with that person?
I did.
Did they indicate whether...
Objection here.
It was.
I was going
what
to
about-
make a hearsay objection, but he stopped his question.
Okay.
you did talk to the 911 caller?
I did.
Did you canvass the neighborhood?
I did.
And did you look for video cameras from houses or anywhere that might depict the area behind that abandoned building?
Anywhere in the immediate area that could have potentially caught this vehicle driving into the alleyway or behind the abandoned house.
That's what you were looking for.
Yep.
Were you able to find anybody when you were on scene here from those houses who had seen what happened?
My immediate canvas, not a single individual saw what happened, and nor did I find any camera footage around that immediate area north of it.
Okay, so you say north of it, you're looking, you mean north of Lisbon, fair?
Yes.
And are you aware of any camera footage that captures right behind that abandoned building at the time?
Not at that moment, no.
After you arrived, did you have other members of your department come out to tow the vehicle from that location?
I do not recall if we had another squad or if it was us that waited for the tow to arrive on scene.
So there was a tow that arrived on scene, fair?
Eventually, yes, that vehicle was towed from that location.
What's the process for that? Where does it get towed to?
We call the city tow lot, and then essentially we wait for a tow to arrive. We get a tow number that's associated with the vehicle, and then if it's a safekeeping tow, it'll be kept at the city tow lot in a specific lot separate from evidence tows.
Did you at some point become aware on April 2nd of a leg that was found at Warnemont Park?
Yes.
Did you become aware that day or at a subsequent time?
Subsequent time.
Okay. And you're aware that that leg was found on the evening of April 2nd?
I do not recall what time that was recovered.
But this time, the time you went out to this burning car, I think it's on your body cam up here at the upper right, we're at 8:22 a.m. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Cross?
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, officer. So you testified that you were dispatched to this 2928 West Lisbon Avenue for a vehicle fire, correct?
Yes.
And had you ever been dispatched to vehicle fires in that area before?
No.
Okay, so but this area that you described, you said that there's a lot of trash around there, correct?
Yes, there is.
And I mean, I guess we can kind of look at the video here on this frame. It looks like there's some residential homes, correct?
Just north of it, yes.
Are you familiar with this area through your, responding to calls for service?
Yes.
And I mean, have you responded to calls for service about potential drug dealing?
Objection relevance?
What's the relevance?
I'm just trying to set the scene of where this all occurred. The part of the city. I mean, the state on direct examination was talking about how it's a high crime area.
I don't recall that happening.
Or the trash, I suppose. I mean, if I can just move on.
Okay,
Littering's
please
a
move on.
crime.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Move on.
All right, but when you arrived after the fire had already been extinguished, correct?
Yes.
And you had mentioned that the trunk of the vehicle was ajar, right?
Yes, it was.
And it was in that condition when you arrived.
Can you rephrase that?
The trunk was ajar when you arrived, correct?
Yes.
And I guess we saw on body camera, it showed that you approaching the car, and it looks like you're writing down the VIN number?
That's what I initially did, yes.
Okay. And did you touch the vehicle whatsoever? Did you touch anything in the interior and the trunk?
Nothing in the interior, nothing in the interior of the trunk, and nothing from the exterior. When I opened the trunk, I do not recall if I put my direct hand on it or if I used my sleeve.
Okay. And you indicated that there was minor damage to the exterior of the vehicle, correct?
Yes, I did.
But it didn't appear that there was any fire damage on the exterior of the vehicle. It looks like it was more just interior, correct?
I knew there was interior damage. I do not know the extent of the exterior of it, if it was fire damage or if it was damage done prior to the vehicle being there.
What I meant was the exterior of the vehicle, there wasn't char marks on the exterior.
I do not recall if there was or not.
It appears that the fire damage is all the interior front seat and into the back seat, correct?
There was fire damage in the interior and the rear and the trunk.
And the trunk, but we could see on the body camera that there was still some belongings that didn't look like they were charred or burnt.
No.
And after you are looking at this vehicle, you said you canvassed the area, correct?
I did.
And what did that entail? Did you go to homes around the area?
Any houses around the area that could have potentially caught this incident on a camera or any sort of video footage.
And you weren't able to locate any video footage that captured the fire?
No.
And so you weren't able to identify any suspects that were captured on video, correct?
Nothing on the canvas that I conducted that day.
I had nothing further.
State.
Nothing else.
Thank you, officer.